What's up, angels? It's your West Coast Belle, and I'm back with another review. This is season 8, episode 5 of Love and Marriage Huntsville, and we'll get right into it. But first, if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for your bells, okay? And I did want to let you guys know that all these reviews, they're not necessarily to just recap the episodes, but to spark conversations about interesting issues that come up as a result of, the things that happen in the episode. So let's get right into it. This episode picks up right where the last one left off, and Destiny is talking to Moses, and Moses is just lying right through his teeth, okay, still. She puts a lot on the table. She says she needed to work and that he didn't show up as the man that he presented himself to be. And that does happen a lot in relationships, where sometimes you meet the representative of the person that you're really going to be with, and the representative is a much better person than the person that you actually end up with. So Moses says he needed more time and attention, and that she wasn't there for him, which is kind of textbook talk for a cheater, honestly. I'm really not feeling him. I mean, he looks good, but I'm telling you, Sonny, I already know. You don't even know. I know, and you don't. But it's clear that Destiny is hurt. And honestly, I feel like Sonny is in trouble. And she needs to, kind of either watch him really closely or, she's married. Let me just, whatever. She's married, so I do feel like she's in trouble, though. But Moses totally feels like he's the prize, and it just makes me a little bit uncomfortable because it seems like he lied to Sonny about where he and Destiny truly stood romantically. And, at the time they got together, I think that Sonny may have been in the dark just like Destiny was, and maybe a couple of other women as well. So on the flip side, Destiny kind of was getting played the whole time and attached herself to somebody that was looking for something else, and never took her seriously. He did an interview on Carlos King's show on YouTube, Reality with the King. Is that what it is? Oh my goodness. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank, because I watch Carlos King's YouTube show every time a new show airs. But he was on Carlos King's YouTube show with it was another creator that he was speaking with, and he, of course, blamed Destiny for everything and basically said that she was a side chick for the whole time, which is cause for alarm for Sonny. Like, don't you realize that he's saying that he had a side chick for 15 years? What makes you think that you have what it take, or as Tiffany would say, you think your pee is good enough to keep him from having a side chick for the next 15 years? It's something going on with him. There is something going on, okay? And mark my word, we're going to find out about it, because Carlos is going to keep his ear to the streets, honey, like Mama Joyce. But, yeah, Destiny attached herself to him maybe a little bit prematurely, especially after her role in his life was so insignificant, for so long. I just, she may have prematurely attached herself to him and thinking that he was taking her seriously because she took him more seriously than he took her. That seems to be what may have happened. Destiny even kind of disclosed that he was trying to get her pregnant for the whole time, which indicates that she let him just bust all up in the club from day one. And he said you were a side chick. It's like giving real bucket vibes, I don't like to judge. She lowered herself, I think, a little bit to have a piece of man. And it may be because of the things that she was going in life, but not so much as a commitment or a ring and you letting him try to get you pregnant. It's not just him trying to get you pregnant. You're allowing him to try to, whether he can or not, even if you pop in a pill every other day or whatever, it's just something that, not every other day, but even if you're doing your birth control, every day, it just seems like you had him thinking that was something that he could do. But these girls are so ass backwards these days that it really doesn't surprise me that the marriage rate is so low. And don't get it twisted. Those of us that want to get married. We are married. I'm on my second marriage. My sister is too. So we do get married. But there are a certain group of women that don't want to be married because they're not getting married. And even if they say they do want to be married, they really don't. And that can be proven in a variety of different ways. You just can't allow yourself to be a bucket for a man and expect him to take you seriously. So that's what it is. You have to do more than fly in and lay on your back for a couple days. It's truly about standing on what you will allow, and if you allow him to be your boyfriend forever, he will. If you allow him to be a friend with benefits forever, he will. So even as a lady, there's a subtle way of hinting toward the fact that you're not just gonna be his concubine, or less than a wife, second at best. You can absolutely demand that in a relationship. So I'll move on because that's a long time on that. But it's very complicated because after living life, I do know that your soulmate could be with someone else right now, even be married to someone else. And I also know that the person that they're married to could be connected to you or close to you in some type of way as well, because life happens the way it should. And it just is what it is. You can't judge anybody no matter what the situation is. So Sonny can't be judged, but we can have an opinion. You may find love in the most unexpected place, and I know I certainly did, but we'll talk because I told you guys before, my life is a book, honey, a movie even. So going into the next scene is Trisha in a personal training session with Trisha. And it's the first one-on-one, and it goes well. Trisha's very open and has no problem with talking to people about what's really going on in her life, which I love that for reality TV when somebody is super open like she is. And she lets Trisha know that she's in a relationship with someone, but she's also married to someone else. And I've been in that situation. The other half of the West Coast Bells has as well. I don't mean to spill her tea, but she would. And she already has on this channel if you guys listen to us. But when she speaks of her husband, she has a look of uncertainty as to whether or not they're actually done. And I just think that there's something that we're not privy to. And of course, because it's that way in every marriage, no matter how candid you are, there are always things that other people don't know, so Kenny should probably be careful because Trisha is taken, but she's available as well, if y'all know what I mean. And I can see it, it takes one to know one, and I've been her, before. He's a little too nice, and they say nice guys finish last, so it just would really confirm that if she ends up not marrying him and in another relationship or actually going back to her husband. So that's something just for him to, look out for. Just look out, Kenny, look out. All right. Tisha and Trisha seem to hit it off though, and Tisha got to know that Trisha is a little more connected to the circle than she may have known. So Trisha's mom is related to Nell in some way, shape, or form, and she's familiar with Martell because she went to school with his brother. Whoa, that was a mouthful. Okay, so if she is not from Huntsville, she's been there long enough to know people, and she knows people that are within the circle, which is, makes perfect sense, and that's why she's on the show. So, y'all let me know if I'm wrong, Because in the trailer, editing kind of made it look like Martell and Trisha had spent some time together. I could have sworn I heard him say that she came to the house a couple times, but I'll look into it. But the scene moves over to Mel and her sleepover. Mel is good for a matching jammy jam sleepover, honey. The faces are a little unfamiliar, but she says that these are her genuine friends, the people that have been there with her through the thick and the thin. And most of them are married. So, of course, they're trying to get their friend back into a relationship with a good man, honey, with a good man. But what stuck out to me is that they were saying that, the men are out there and available, but Mel is not presenting herself. She's not being available to them. She's not making herself available. She's finding something wrong with every gentleman that comes her way, which, that does happen. It does. They even call her picky at one point, and I fell out when Mel said the man's pants wasn't right, and she needs some swag, okay, because I do too. And they said she needs to adjust her standards a little bit. I think that was what they were getting at. But she just needs to be more available if she wants someone to find her. If you want to be found, you have to be out there for someone that's looking, or available for someone that's looking. But Mel ultimately does reveal that she's still healing. And we do know that because she's still mad at Martell. She said, that's why I beat your ass, So she definitely is still healing, and we wish her well on her journey. She said that she's still trying to remove herself from the toxicity of her relationship with Martell. And I know you can be happy without being in a relationship. So whenever she's ready for it, of course she'll be in a relationship, because honestly the everything card is really it's doing its thing, honey. The face card, the body card, the money card, she can pull them all, period. So I'm a part of that generation too, though. We love having a man. It makes life better and easier, especially if he loves you and values your position in his life. But I'm a sucker for a good girl gathering, so it's always refreshing for me to see the ladies get together, even when it gets a little messy, which this didn't, and it was cool. So kudos, ladies. All right, so the episode moves to Stormy's house, where she and Trisha are talking once again, and Martell walks in. Something tells me Stormy wanted to say, damn, Martell, you look good. But anyway, they get past that, and there was an awkward moment between Trisha and Martell. It totally looked like there was something between them at one point. And earlier, Trisha said she knows Martell and his brother. So either she and Martell have a secret, or Martell was kind of surprised that his brother's old slide was there. That's what it seems like happened to me. But after the awkward moment, Stormy asked them if they can be models at an event she's hosting, and they both agree. She also slips in that maybe Trisha could help to train Martell. I love Stormy. So she could figure out why that moment was so uncomfortable. At that point, I knew that baby voice Stormy, she got some fire. And I'm all the way here for her mess that she's about to start coming with, if that's going to be her position on the show, okay? So it's back to Kenny and Trisha, and they're at the house. She tells him about the awkward moment between she and Martell, and he thinks pretty much what the whole world did. Honey, we all saw a light bulb on top of his head, like, what? He asked the question that we all wanted to ask, like, why is he acting like he one of his old slides or something like that? Like, what's going on with that? So they move on, and they start talking about her marriage. and how he wants to marry her as soon as her current marriage ends. Now, we are all sitting back thinking about how bad of an idea that is, but you can never say definitively on whether it's a bad idea or not, because in our older age and in our bigger age, we definitely move a lot more quickly than we did when we were younger. So only time will tell about that, but Lord, we definitely have lived long enough to know how that goes most of the time. Trisha not having an answer for him about her marriage and being extremely uncomfortable talking about it with him after telling everyone who would listen that she's married is very telling. I'm just gonna give them a year though, because things do happen, and I'm pretty sure that I know where this is going. We love good relationships and marriages, but the writing is on the wall. Either Trisha will tell him she's going to try to work it out with her husband, or Kenny will end up, walking away, because it's hard to be with somebody that is in limbo, and it kind of seems like that's what's going on with Trisha. She's in limbo. I mean, it's already awkward for me because he's with a woman who belongs to another man, and the allowance of the attack on his manhood is cause for concern as well, because a manly man would not hear of such things, period. Like, men do not allow their women to be married to another man. It's not a woman, it's not a man in this world that's gonna claim that, I belong to him, and my husband is with me. We just cannot allow that. So, or he just wouldn't allow that. So, I'm just gonna end it right there, because that's pretty much where the episode ends. And let's get down in the comments and talk about it. And for more videos like this one, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for your bells. And we are out.